Legends of the Forest. The haunted woods of the forest of Iceward Peaks have long been home to strange stories and stranger creatures. We've collected these stories into this volume, writing down what was previously passed on by word of mouth and around Nord campfires in the dead of night. The Voice in the Woods. Brogo the Small wasn't a large Nord. He wasn't a fast Nord. He wasn't even a strong Nord. But Brogo made up for his shortcomings by being something that many Nords aren't. Brogo was smart. He took the time to consider everything he ever did, refusing to give in to the passions that drive most of other of his kin, and eventually saved his life. One day, Brogo the Small happened to get separated from his companions. He found himself lost in the woods in the haunted woods. He wandered along, becoming increasingly scared and hungry. Brogo stumbled into a clearing among the trees. He decided to rest for a bit, stretching out upon a relatively flat, smooth stone bathed in the afternoon sun. It didn't take long for Brogo to fall asleep. He awoke later, opening his eyes to find the night had fallen across the forest. Something had pulled him from his sleep. A sound. It was like a whispering of young women, and giggling. He was certain that someone or something had giggled, but he seemed to be alone in the clearing. Illuminated by the pale glow of the corner moon above, Brogo was straining to see into the darkness beyond the clearing, from whom the whispers. "Oh, look at his adorable root," said the voice in the woods. "And his golden leaf," said another. "He's mine, sister. I saw him first." "You got the last one. This one is for me." Brogo nearly fainted when the two ghostly forms materialized at the edge of the clearing near the large gropo trees. A pair of forest spirits were arguing over him. He didn't know whether to be frightened or flattered, although he did not know the mortals and spirits shouldn't mix. He didn't think he could get very far by running through the forest in the dark. He was certain he couldn't fight the spirits, so Brogo had only one option. "Hello," Brogo called to the spirits. "Would you like to play a game?" At first the spirits appeared shy and even a little frightened of Brogo. They weren't used to mortals talking to them directly. But he slowly began to engage the Nord, sometimes while visible and sometimes as disembodied voices in the darkness. Brogo described the wondrous game that used cards and dice and clay chips. It was like no game that either the spirits had ever heard of, or any Nord for that matter. Brogo was making things up as he spoke. Soon the forest spirits were huddled close to Brogo, listening intently to every word that small Nord said. Finally they shouted in unison, "We want to play!" "Alas," Brogo said with a great disappointment, "I don't have any cards, or dice, or clay chips. I left them in my wagon back with my traveling companions, and I don't know where the wagon is." "No problem," said the first spirit. "We can show you where the wagon has gone." And that's just what the spirits did, of course. They weren't happy when Brogo, reunited with his companions, drove off the spirits as the wagons rolled out of the haunted woods. Brogo pulled out his journal and started writing. "What are you doing?" asked one of his traveling companions. "I had the best idea for a game this evening. I want to write it down while the memory is fresh."